Disneyland has finally released the details on Magic Key Renewals, after months and months of remaining pretty silent about how the whole situation would work out. In this video, we're going to talk about how Magic Keys are changing, both some added benefits that are coming, but also some price increases, and some things that have changed that might not be ideal. We'll talk about how the prices compare to last year, and I'll also share some thoughts on what I think Disneyland is attempting to do with these changes to the Magic Key program. So let's dive in. For those of you who are new here, my name is Eric D, and on this channel my hope is always to make your next Disney adventure a little bit more magical with tips and tricks, food reviews, and news. So if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. But it was just about a year ago when Disneyland first introduced the Magic Key program, which was basically the replacement for the old annual pass program. And leading up to this, many fans were worried how things might change because over the pandemic and then the reservation system, it became very clear that Disney wanted to operate business differently, and this was their big chance to make some changes. And Disney has made it no secret that one of their goals is to increase the amount of tourists that come to Disneyland, and also that the annual pass holders don't on average spend as much as an individual tourist does who is there for vacation for a few days. So with all of these things in mind, many former annual pass holders and many people who wanted to buy into this new program were worried what it might look like. But once they finally introduced it, the Magic Key program was very similar to the old annual pass program, but it seemed like prices went up a bit, some of the benefits went down a bit, but the biggest change of all was the adding of reservation days in there. That even though we've always had blockout days where you could not go on certain days depending on which pass you had, but all of a sudden not only were there the blockout days, but you had to make reservations, and depending on which pass you had, it was going to change how many reservations you could hold at one time. And in all truth, the first year of the Magic Key program, while I know plenty of people who enjoy it, I myself am a Magic Key holder and it's been good for how I visit Disneyland, but for plenty of people, it's been rocky, including for Disney, in that the first two passes, the top tiers, after a certain point they stopped selling those because so many people were complaining that, hey, we have this pass, but we can't get in because of the lack of reservations. Eventually they stopped selling all four passes, so no one new could get into the program. And there was also a lawsuit that came forward saying, hey, you promised there was no blockout dates, but there's basically a lot of blockout dates, even though I have the top tier pass, because the reservations make it so I can't get in. So there were these things going on, a lot of people complaining not being able to get in. So that brings us to the past few months where Disneyland has been pretty silent on the renewal process, not saying too much on it at all. And so there's been a lot of questions of what that would mean. Add on top of that, that for the most recent financial report from Disney, the words to describe what was going on in the parks was this: profits were partially offset by an unfavorable attendance mix at Disneyland Resort. So what Disney is basically saying there is that the Magic Key holders are not bringing in as much money as a tourist would, or just a guest visiting with a day ticket, or like a 3-day ticket or something like that. So they're calling out, hey, we could have made more profits here, but because of this unfavorable mix that we had too many pass holders attending, we didn't make as much as we could have. So add the drama of the past year of the Magic Keys to comments like that, and you can understand why a lot of people were pretty worried of what could happen with the Magic Keys, whether the program would change dramatically or Disney would make it something where it's like you buy into this key and you can only get in 10 times a year, or it's kind of a punch pass where, okay, you get 20 visits a year, but you need to use them on these dates. There were a lot of questions about what would happen, but what Disney basically did was increase prices more. They did add a few benefits, but I think they're really trying to weed out some of the people who are currently in the Magic Key program. Now let's talk about how things have changed since a year ago with the renewals. Keep in mind that at this time, they aren't letting anyone who doesn't have a Magic Key purchase a new one. It's renewals only. They completely got rid of the Dream Key, which was the top tier with no blockout dates, and they've replaced it with the Inspire Key, which the name is not inspiring me at all, but that's just me personally. This one's costing $1,599. With this key, you get reservation-based admission to one or both theme parks most days of the year. When they block out is really the last week or two of December leading into the new year. You can hold up to 6 theme park reservations at a time. You get 20% off Disney Genie Plus, unlimited PhotoPass digital photo downloads, and up to 20% off merchandise and 15% off select dining. Plus your standard theme park parking is included, which is a nice benefit there. And here's the blockout calendar for this one. The Believe Key is now $1,099. Once again, you get reservation-based admission to one or both theme parks most days of the year. This one you'll start to find not only are those last 2 weeks of December blocked out, but there's some Saturdays and some weekends and some holidays that start to get blocked out a little bit. You can hold up to 6 theme park reservations at a time, 20% off the purchase of Disney Genie Plus, unlimited Disney PhotoPass digital photo downloads, and 10% off select merchandise and 10% off select dining. And this one you get 50% off theme park parking. Here is the Blockout Calendar. The Enchant Key has gone up to $6.99. This is a reservation-based admission to one or both theme parks select days of the year. So this you're going to find a lot of the summer is blocked out, a lot of holidays are blocked out, and a lot of Saturdays and Sundays are blocked out. You can hold up to 4 theme park reservations at a time, 20% off the purchase of Disney Genie Plus, up to 10% off select merchandise, and 10% off select dining. And on this one you get 25% off the standard cost at the Toy Story parking lot. So not Mickey and Friends, but the Toy Story parking lot. You can see how the dates are starting to increase on the Blockout Calendar. Then there is the Imagine Key for $4.49. This is only available for Southern California residents in certain zip codes. And as I said last year, I think they call it the Imagine Key because you have to imagine what it's like to be in the park, because you won't be in the park that often because there are a whole lot of blockout dates, including Fridays, Saturdays, much of the summer, much of spring break. All across the board, there's a lot of days blocked out. With this one, you can only hold 2 theme park reservations at a time. You get 20% off the purchase of Disney Genie Plus, up to 10% off select merchandise, up to 10% off select dining, and also 25% off the Toy Story parking area. And you can really see here how many dates are blocked out on the calendar. Here's the price comparison to last year's Magic Key prices, and prior to that, the old annual pass prices. The renewals will begin no earlier than August 18th at 9 a.m. Disneyland time, and the passes, while all initially open to renewal, may become unavailable. So for example, maybe that Inspire Key will no longer be available, so you might have to renew to one of the lower keys if you were hoping to get that one. Also, in the terms and conditions, Disney has included a class action lawsuit waiver, so if you are purchasing this, you are waiving your right to file a lawsuit, which kind of tells you how some things have been going with the Magic Key program that they had to specifically put that in there. So now my opinion, why is Disneyland doing this? Why are they changing it? And why is it such a big deal? Once again, as I said, it's no secret that they are hoping to get more tourists into the park, more vacation visitors who are buying those day tickets or those 3, 4, 5-day tickets. That is where they're making a lot more money. So I think by doing this, by increasing the prices a bit, I think they are hoping to weed out some of the people that have done it. So some people will drop out and they won't have those Magic Key holders returning anymore. Some of the people will drop down to lower levels because the prices went up, so they might have to drop down and not visit as often. So once again, Disney won't have quite as many Magic Key holders in the park. And they also, with that reduced price on the Disney Genie Plus, I think that's showing they're hoping to make some additional money there, because I'm guessing a lot of the Magic Key holders aren't purchasing into that. And so with that reduced price, I think they're hoping to bump up the revenue there. So I think it's pretty interesting what we're seeing here, just that they are trying to reduce the number of Magic Key holders, but also make a little bit more money off them while they can by increasing prices and also making it more favorable to purchase some things. Big picture though, if Bob Chapek and Disney really want people to, more guests and tourists to be coming and less of the Magic Key holders, what they need to do is need to start treating Disneyland a little bit more like Walt Disney World. For the most part at Disneyland, I think most guests can go for 3 days and hit everything up. If you want more tourists and vacationers, there's only so much advertising you can do. You need to build more attractions, you need to add more hotels, more restaurants, those things that people are going to come and visit. So I really think on a yearly basis, Disney is going to be having this concern, and they're not going to be pleased with the unfavorable mix of attendance until they start taking those actions to make it so people are staying longer as far as tourists and guests, and people are coming in who haven't seen things before because there's new attractions, you want to stay longer to experience more nighttime spectaculars or experience more shows, entertainment, more restaurants. If they're adding all of those things, I think people will come and stay longer. But if you just keep things as it is, you're going to continue to have that mix of needing to have the annual pass holders, Magic Key holders, to fill in when the parks aren't so busy. So if you don't want the unfavorable mix, Disney, it's time to up the attractions, up the restaurants, up it all. And maybe with Disneyland Forward, which we talked about a while ago, that plan to expand both theme parks or maybe add a third theme park in the future, that could be the key to fixing the Magic Key problem. But in the comments below, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on the additional prices, the raised prices for Magic Keys, some of the benefits they added? Are you going to be renewing if you're a Magic Key holder? I would love to hear all of that in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a like, and we'll see y'all again real soon.